Yeah, I've got to say something about global warming again. The surprising thing about the whole global warming brouhaha is surprising thing about it is it's so simple. I mean, let me start off by saying high school chemistry. If you do high school chemistry, inorganic chemistry, you do solubility of ions in water. And like, look up Wikipedia. Most carbonate salts are insoluble in water at standard temperature and pressure, with solubility constants of less than 1 times 10 to the minus 8. They're really not soluble at all. Exceptions include lithium, sodium, potassium, and ammonium. But let's talk, let's not, one of the most important things is the solubility of calcium carbonate, which is, we know, partially soluble and it's responsible for limestone caves and all that, limestone cave formations and whatnot. The point being that all the people who call themselves scientists don't mention important facts from, like, high school chemistry, because I guess they assume that most people are just going to have forgotten it or never knew it anyway. But carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, no matter how it's formed, carbon dioxide is heavier than air. A heavier than air gas will fall to the bottom of the atmosphere, and naturally it will flow down the mountains and reach the surface of the rivers, and if it doesn't dissolve, it's going to flow down the valleys on top of the surface of the water of the lakes and rivers to the oceans. It's going to follow gravity, and carbon dioxide produced in the atmosphere is going to collect on the surface of the oceans and lakes. Now, why is this important? Obviously, mixing occurs by wind and wave action. Mixing of the carbon dioxide with the water to form carbonic acid. This famously occurs in the tropics, like the Caribbean, where they have lots of hurricanes, and places in the world like the Pacific, South Pacific, where they have coral. Now, an essential part of hard corals is calcium carbonate. So you do need a lot of dissolved carbonates to aid the formation of coral, and that presumably occurs at elevated temperatures, like the warmer tropic oceans, tropical seas. So, be that as it may, one of the big problems of carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere rising very high is the fact that the oceans form a carbon sink. How? The oceans are full of dissolved metal ions, not just lithium, sodium, potassium, and calcium. There's millions of them. There's many in the periodic table: metals, iron, all the metal ions dissolved in seawater. I mean, you can taste them: iron, copper, lead, whatever there is. They are going to form in what's called insoluble precipitates. Like if you put, a mix of some colloidal silver and some, it was just like getting like iron chloride precipitating out of solution. If you get a soluble iron salt, a more soluble form of iron, and mixed up with sodium chloride, you're going to get insoluble iron chloride, which is just going to form a cloudy precipitate and just sink to the bottom of the vessel. And that's what happens with almost all carbonates, ions. In fact, there's so many metal ions in seawater, carbon dioxide doesn't have a chance of staying dissolved in seawater for very long. And this is one of the reasons why carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere never rise above 300, say, parts per million, because there's this effect which is concerning what we're talking about. Now, what that means is that because it's very hard for carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere to rise very high, that means that the idea of global warming is actually impossible. I mean, it's a scientific impossibility, because the people who talk about it they call themselves scientists, and they either know very well that they're lying, or they just don't know they're not scientists, they don't know any basic chemistry at all. And I guess that would include His Majesty the Pope. But that's the thinness of the lies. The thinness of the scam we've been presented with is that it defies all commonly known scientific principles, and it's a scam. It's hugger mugger, harem scarum. People, the Vatican and others, trying to get their hands on taxpayers' money and make people feel guilty for using petrol cars. So that's all it is. It's just a scam. It's not based on any science or whatsoever. Then the only thing in its favor is the ignorance of a large number of people. Again, yeah.